Welcome to our series Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. Today's subject is harmony, the mother. For harmony and better work. It is not by changing men that things can get better, but by changing one's own consciousness and character. It is only in harmonious collaboration that effective work can be done. The important thing is to find the point on which you can all agree. And after this is firmly established, each one must be ready to yield his personal will in order to keep intact this point of harmony. Harmony. Let us strive that the day may come when this will be the means and the end. Harmony is my aim, and all that leads to harmony makes me happy. Integral harmony, harmony between things, harmony between people, harmony of circumstances, and above all, harmony of all aspiration directed towards the supreme truth. A harmonious, collective aspiration can change the course of circumstances. Collective harmony is the work undertaken by the divine consciousness. It alone has the power to realize it. There is a deep and true consciousness in which all can meet in love and harmony. It is only in union with the divine and in the divine that harmony and peace can be established. Surely we must always want peace and harmony and work for it as much as we can. But for that, the best field of action is always within ourselves. Look for the inner causes of disharmony much more than the outer ones. It is the inside which governs the outside. Do not worry or be impatient. All the disharmonies will disappear. But it must be on the true basis of a settled, luminous consciousness, leaving no room for the play of the ego. For all to agree, each one must rise to the summit of his consciousness. It is on the heights that harmony is created. April 1970. Once again, I refer you to our website, motherandshriaurobindo.in, and the volumes on flowers and their messages, and the spiritual significance of flowers, as there are many flowers that radiate with the message of harmony. Sri Aurobindo on harmony. a spiritual or gnostic being, would feel his harmony with the whole gnostic life around him, whatever his position in the whole. Unity, mutuality, and harmony must therefore be the inescapable law of a common or collective Gnostic life. What forms it might take would depend upon the will of evolutionary manifestation of the supernature, but this would be its general character and principle. It is only if our nature develops beyond itself, if it becomes a nature of self-knowledge, mutual understanding, unity, a nature of true being and true life, that the result can be a perfection of ourselves and our existence, a life of true being, a life of unity, mutuality, harmony, a life of true happiness, a harmonious and beautiful life. A growing basis and structure of conscious unanism, we might say, would be the character of this more evolved life. Harmony is the natural rule of the spirit. It is the inherent law and spontaneous consequence of unity in multiplicity, of unity in diversity, of a various manifestation of oneness. In a pure and blank unity, there could be indeed no place for harmony, for there is nothing to harmonize. In a complete or governing diversity, there must be either discord or a fitting together of differences, a constructed harmony, but in a Gnostic unity in multiplicity. The harmony would be there as a spontaneous expression of the unity. And this spontaneous expression presupposes a mutuality of consciousness, aware of other consciousness, by a direct inner contact and interchange. It is true that in the total terrestrial existence, of which the Gnostic life would be a part, there would be still continuing within it a life belonging to a less evolved order. The intuitive and Gnostic life would have to fit into this total existence and carry into it as much of its own law of unity and harmony as may be possible. A life of unity, mutuality, and harmony, born of a deeper and wider truth of our being, is the only truth of life that can successfully replace the imperfect mental constructions of the past, which were a combination of association and regulated conflict, an accommodation of egos and interests grouped or dovetailed into each other to form a society, a consolidation by common general life motives, a unification by need and the pressure of struggle with outside forces. It is such a change and such a reshaping of life for which humanity is blindly beginning to seek. Now more and more, with a sense that its very existence depends on finding the way. All life, for the achieved spiritual or gnostic consciousness, must be the manifestation of the realized truth of spirit. Only what can transform itself and find its own spiritual self in that greater truth and fuse itself into its harmony can be accorded a life acceptance. But in the supramental being, this need of limitation for perfection would disappear. The diversity would not be secured by limitation, but by a diversity in the power and hue of the supernature. The same whole of being and the same whole of nature would express themselves in an infinitely diverse fashion, for each being would be a new totality. Harmony, self-equation of the one being. What would be expressed in front or held behind at any moment would depend not on capacity or incapacity, but on the dynamic self-choice of the spirit, its delight of self-expression, on the truth of the divine's will and joy of itself in the individual, and subordinately on the truth of the thing that had to be done through the individual in the harmony of the totality. Namaste.